she got me lifted, your mind tripping.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Jaguars going up against the Chargers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are a little less than 10 miles inland from the blue waters of the Pacific Ocean as we greet you from lovely San Diego, California. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the San Diego Chargers. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's got room. There goes Melvin Gordon. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This opening drive has taken them to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. Now a run for Barner. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
So now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I loved coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go now. Black 58 ramp. Black 58 ramp.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And got his man complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
yardage. Okay.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's Chris Ivory with his first carry. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Sliding out of the pocket. It's caught to Charles. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And oh, he kicked it out of bounds. That's a big penalty.
And this is where the rest of the team turns and stares at the kicker and says, you have one job, execute it.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And this Jacksonville Jaguar defense, Charles, they have a lot riding on the youngster Jalen Ramsey.
As you well know, he was my #1 player coming out of the 2016 draft. I loved his versatility. The big question mark, is he enough of a ball hawk? Didn't have very many interceptions in college, but boy, he does everything else that you want. Runs, hits, wraps up on his tackles. He's going to start on the corner for the Jaguars.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Finding time. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. One receiver left, that's Allen. In motion is the tight end Gates. Now a second down throw for Rivers. That is incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And now it's third down.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same.
Looking for his tight end Gates, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Perry Riley. And the return will stop right around the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Bortles now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the offense puts the ball on the ground, but they pick it back up. Now they face a third down. On third and long, it's Bortles. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Where he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, third and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Rivers to throw it. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Now Gordon on first down. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 40. Seven. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Now Rivers surveying the field. Finds his target. It's Gates. A very solid gain of 27.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. Rivers. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Here's Rivers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And now it's 2nd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. One receiver left, that's Allen. Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Josh Lambo now for the Charger field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Lambo will put this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive begins with a run by Ivory. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Throwing now is Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Check 52. Check 52. Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Bortles to throw once more. Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. And picked up by the Chargers. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And the screen can be a tough play for a wide receiver. We saw it there. They have to look the football into their hands, then turn their head up and look upfield.
It's quite a checklist, isn't it? Watch the ball into your hands, tuck it away, get upfield, find your blockers. Sometimes the list gets lost in there, and the defense makes it work.
And they made it work. They got the fumble. They took it in for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Bortles now to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down now after the incompletion. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to try and go deep again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He finds Hearns left side. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he motions the wide receiver. Now a play fake here on first down. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. In motion right comes Allen. Rivers now on second down. Under pressure, they got him again. So we're at halftime of this. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. first down. Bortles. His throw incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Bortles will try again on second down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
There we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Ace. There we go now.
On first down, this is Ivory. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On second down, here's Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So a second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
There we go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw, it's Bortles. And he's got it to Hearns. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Throwing now is Bortles. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Bortles going to go on 4th down. It's caught to Charles. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. One receiver left, that's Allen. Rivers now. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Rivers now on second down. He's got time in the pocket. Looking, and that's caught inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. Williams loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. This will be caught just inside the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. From the gun, Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. So on 3rd and goal, Gordon. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. They set up the screen to Ivory. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. This is Ivory. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Completes it to Lee. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
There we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Black 58 round. Black 58 round.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. Caught out left side by Robinson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Rivers. And that is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
The Chargers go here. It's Rivers. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack. And it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Play clock winding down. Now Bortles, got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That one.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One man in the backfield is Gordon. He's going to get the football. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. One receiver left. That's Allen. On 3rd down, Rivers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And picked up by the Chargers.
All right, zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return.
They had an opportunity. All right, they were sensing. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. First down and goal to go from the 7. Here's Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Second and goal. They still need 8 yards to find the end zone. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And Gates has got it. And the Chargers' all-time touchdown leader has another one. Antonio Gates, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Rivers to throw it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
On the return, here's Dree Archer. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Legion in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And now San Diego getting set to go. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Dante Fowler in on the stop. Offense working with a 3rd